Hello everybody. Right, I thought I was going to challenge myself. I think actually we could call this junk in the trunk because it is literally junk. I've got like loads of papers, loads of bits of cardboard, and I'm going to make a journal out of it because it's been hanging around for a while. Okay, so what you're going to need in this one, right, I'm not saying I'm going to use all this, but I've got some typewriter pages here. These ones haven't been dyed yet, so I'm going to tea stain those. I've got some, correspondence envelopes, which they're already cutting down. Some of these I'm going to turn inside out because I quite like that pattern. So I would trim all those down first, okay, and then, if you want to use the inside of them, do so, which I am. Okay, like I say, this journal's going to be, a little bit grungy, a little bit just tone on tone. This is what I'm trying to achieve with this. So, yeah, right, hard to explain. I'm just getting all sort of, I know these haven't been tea stained yet, okay, but once they are, they'll be in keeping with everything else. This is the ones that most probably I'll tea stain a little bit more. There's a couple there that's okay in colour, but thought I'd add a bit of tea to those. Okay, so I've got a pile of just bits of paper. That's out of a photograph album. This is, I don't know, but like, it's almost like parchment paper. No idea where that come from. That was in my box bits. More paper here. Some book pages, they just need a bit of tea on them. Okay. So this is my tea staining pile. That looks like it's, oh yeah, marble paper. Or sort of faux parchment paper, I think, for printing on that one. Envelope. Another envelope there. Some more book pages that need tea staining. I've got a pile of that. I've just sorted all these out, so I just thought, right, let's make a journal with it. I've got, okay. This is all from my junk box. I've got some card. It's already tea stained. I've got some of these that have actually no good because they're worn down here. So I wouldn't put them in the journal because they're a bit fragile there. So I will either reinforce them. I'm going to cut one down like that. Okay, we'll make something out of it anyway. Alright. Again, all coffee stain paper. This has been hanging around forever. So those are all that's card, bits of paper. Then I got envelopes, bits of card left over from projects. Envelopes, little mini ones. Some bigger ones. These are all tea stained and they're pretty grungy, so they've been hanging around a while. There's a bit of like tissue paper from a photograph album. That's some corrugated card. This is all different textures in here. Amazon postal paper that we get, brown paper. And these are all been hanging around where I tea and coffee stained and got rather grungy, but lovely. Okay. Well, that's a tea bag on there. It's made a lovely pattern. This one is, don't know. Don't know where that comes. Bit of card here. Look. All different textures. It's like, almost like leather paper there. It's all crunched up. I like that. Brown paper bag. This is one of my original album covers that I've done like 3 years ago, I think, so that could be interesting to use. Might even use it for a cover. Again, some craft paper, that is, and then some craft cards. That's a piece of card. It's really, just stuff that has been over there where I tea stained. This one is collage, and I thought, well, if we're going for tone on tone, this might work for a cover. Okay, tone on tone. Then I'm going to make it into a spring. Right, so all the base pages are going to be tone on tone. A bit more brown card. File folder, tea stained. These are 2 pieces that's been pre-gessoed. Okay, so I'm going to tea stain those. I'll put them in my tea stain pile. And just a bit of brown paper. All different textures. Bit of book pages. Tone on tone wallpaper. Pretty boring. We shall see what we make out of it, which will be, I think, quite interesting. Right, then I got all these bits of sort of lined papers. We might use some of those. Again, oops. This one didn't need tea staining, very old, very vintage. Okay, that one. So that's natural. All the rest, that was just a bit lying around. But I thought, yeah, we'll go with that. It's all similar tones, if you look. Okay, so that's that pile. And then I've got some ephemera. Some of it is original. These are all original. Bits that I can't really use because of the date, I think that's what it is, or they've been ripped or something like that. And I thought, well, actually I quite like that one. I shall try just looking. There's a nice French address there. Yeah, it's a French one. Actually, I'm going to scan that one in and that one. They're quite good. Yeah, so these are all original. French. I'm going to actually scan those in. I must have put them in there by mistake. Let's have a look. Yeah, that can stay. Yeah, some of these receipts are all about probate and things like that. Well, yeah, deceased people, so which I didn't really like, but I actually like the paper, so I thought some of it I'll rip out and then use some of the, you know, this sort of thing without sort of, I don't like using things about death for some reason. I really don't. So let's have a look at this. Oh, I think I could scan that too. I don't know what these are. I have to look into them. But they're good date on those. That is 1922, I think. I'll keep that one. And then there's that. It's all old stuff. That's somewhat isn't old. Yes, there's another one. Look, another wheel. God, I really feel funny. But I thought I could use some of that without having the word will on it, or some of this paper's really lovely to work with. Yeah, sewing patterns, very old, like book that's been ripped it out terribly. That was, yeah. Pictures, old pictures, something about India there. Yeah. Yeah, so these are all just book pages, just any very old music paper. It's very brittle, but hopefully we can do something with it. That must be something to do. God, I just love this paper. It's amazing. There. Dictionary pages, a brown bag. Book pages, that's an up-to-date book that's been tea stained. This one needs tea staining, I think. That come this year. I'll tea stain that one. Another one like this. These are just aren't old enough for me to scan in, so I'm actually going to use them. Let's just some interesting bits that might look interesting ripped up. That's again some nice handwriting there. A nice brown lip. I think we could make a pocket or something out of that. And all the music paper, book pages, just all sorts. Just if you just look, oh look, mushroom. Things like that. That's, you know, modern day scrapbooking, but yeah, I've got this map. It's not tone on tone, but I couldn't help it. I always have to have blue in my journal somewhere. So even if I don't use that, because it is tone on tone, I have this by me to remind me of my favourite colour. Yeah. So, yeah. So get a bundle of that. Some scrapbooking papers here, look. I haven't even grunged them up at all yet, so I'll tea stain those as well. And I think they're all similar tones. Okay, they've been cut off from when I used to do mini albums. Another one there. So again, you know, I'm challenging myself with no colour, and we show as a base, and then we add colour after, and it's a way of using all these up. Okay, that's that one. Then, what did I do? Again, this is all in my scrap pile. These are things here. Not really spring, but they were over there. Well, that one could be, I think. There. So make something out of those. Yeah, they've just found those. So, and these are, some of these aren't spring, but yeah, that could be May, look. Spring, May, June, no, it's more summer, but I quite like that for spring, really. That looks spring-like to me. And that's been hanging around since last year. And that one has. So, and then I've got these were just in my pile. Must have tea stained them, and they sat there from when I done that kit. So got those to add. I've got some tone on tone, the ephemera kit that I've got. You know, like this, which will be good. So faded out, and this one especially nice and faded. This not tone on tone, but it's there. Like that. That's from the mushroom kit. Like I say, there's all bits left over. So some of that will work. No idea what that is. It will come in handy. That was Back to Nature, I think. That one. Some of that will work. Maybe not, you know, with the bit blue, but we've got some good bits there that will work. Tone on tone. And these, don't know, got all smudged and got tea stained, but we can still use them. That's print out on the internet, I think. That's not mine. So it was great. That's what I used before I started doing a few of my own, but I still don't like doing it. I find it very sort of not time consuming. It sort of bores me a little bit to do all these words, so sorry. But I've got some really nice bits here from that kit. So like here, and there's loads here that will work. So there is printables out there for you to print out if you haven't got any original. So, all right, let's look at those and how nice and plain they are. Yeah, and they've been lying around because they are inkjet. They're not the laser printed, so I'll use them up. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's made a start. The first thing I'm going to do is coffee stain the papers that I need to. Yeah, so the first thing we're going to do is, if you go away and coffee stain some papers, yeah, bit of a pile, you never know, you might make 2 journals out of this. Okay, these I'm going to put back in my bag because I think I can scan those. Definitely a good date, and I love the colour, so it would be quite nice to have them scanned. Okay, might offer them as a freebie. Okay, and then you can print them out yourself. Okay, on with the tea staining. Right, I usually do mine over at my wet area. Okay, but I'll just show you what I do. I usually have, I do a mixture of like 40 bags and just leave it go quite a while. It's just still quite warm, but I've mixed this with, I had some already that had gone quite dark in my pot, so I've mixed a bit of that. Okay, because we've got quite a lot of light and I'm trying to get it a little bit darker. I mean, I just tested that. I think it was all right. So, and all I do is that. A bit big, this brush for this one. Like I say, I do it out of a big pot. And I do that. This is all I do. And if I want them ripped up or opened up, I do it while it's wet. Okay, because they rip really easily. They just come apart nicely. Oh, normally better than that, but that's okay. Like that. Okay. And then I literally put that on there, because this, I can get this off. Don't really want that bit there anyway. And because, you know, I've ripped here, what I will do, I will use this piece, you know, something like that. All right, and I literally just keep piling them on top of each other and doing all things like this. This is a better one, so it's a bit stronger. That was quite thin, that one. And then because it's wet, just wet that a little bit more. Be a bit more careful. There we go. And then I'll straighten them all up. You can straighten them up first if you want, but the edges go a bit frayed anyway, so I usually do it after. And then I just paint on. Leave it there. I just make sure I leave them until they're dry. A bit of parchment paper. I put mine on the heater at this time of year. I leave that. That's quite nice. I love the way different papers takes the different, you know, how it looks. When you finish, I quite like that. I'll leave that like that. Nice thin bit. This is a big bit, so. Okay, just carry on like that. I quite like that. A bit of thick card here. See how absorbent that is. Look. Put one of these receipts. Oh, ink running there, look. Looks okay. Quite like that. Do. Let's turn that over and put that on there. Oh, lovely. Just like that. Okay. Another seat, I think. And we shall see what happens. You just got to literally leave it till it dries. Okay, some stick together. Again, I don't mind if it rips and things like that, but if you feel better doing it singly and laying it all out, then please do that. Okay, I just like the sort of grungy effect that it happens naturally then. All right, I'll just leave them to dry. Okay, and I shall show you them as they are when they're dry. Okay, and then we'll peel them apart and see what happens. Right, some of my pile on the heater is dry. I only take the ones off that are dry, but I'm just showing you how they actually all separate once they're dry. Okay, you just got to make sure you leave them to dry. Alright, so some of these might, look, just peel them off gently. Alright, no worries, any of that. So I'll get rid of some of these because then it will give the rest, you know, less to be on there. Because there's, so here, some of this might be slightly damp. That one's not too bad actually, that's all but dry. That's dry, but some of these are still a bit damp. So I'll leave them, and they're very damp, alright. Just check the other side. They do separate once they're dry, not quite dry yet. Let's have a look. Okay, one of those. Yeah, and there's the wet. So I'll put them back on now. A mess, isn't it? Surprising what you can do with that. Yeah, they're all too wet. Okay, I'll put them back on. Right, I've gone ahead and folded loads of bits up. Okay, I've just literally folded them in half, and then we'll go from there. What I thought I would do is use an envelope, because I do like my, and this, oh sorry, it's going to be a single signature journal, this one. So I've used one of those 9 by, oh gosh, what size are they? I've cut a bit off now. Hold on a minute, I'll get another one. There we go. I've got loads of these because the sticky is gone. So I've got a big box full. I think me and my sister's got loads. So originally, this envelope was, I would say about 13. Yeah, I would say 13 inches by 9 normally. Yeah, 9. Okay, I cut it down because I don't want 9 because, you know, it's too tall for the pages, because our pages in the UK are 8 1/4 high. So I think 3/4 of an inch is too much of a gap myself. It's all right when you're doing scrapbook papers, and that's fine. So I've cut it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8. So 8 5/8. Okay, by, I reckon usually 12 for this, but I've done it 11 3/4. Okay, yeah, so I've cut that down, right? And why I've cut it down to that size is because I'm going to use one of these that we made earlier in Junk in a Trunk. All right, and I thought, oh, that'd be, you know, nice with all the, you know, because I've gone like tone on tone, like I've said, with all plain pages. There's no fancy paper in there at all. Okay, what I'm going to do is add the colour, you know, through embellishments and ephemera and things like that. Rather than do pretty pages and then add plainish ephemera, I'm going to do it the other way around for a change. So I sort of worked out that, yeah, that's about how I want it, because don't forget that with the signature, that's going to come up to about there. All right, time we do a spine. Well, it's not a proper spine, but it will take a bit away. So that's how I worked out what size I wanted there. And I thought we'd use very plain wallpaper for cover, and that's a scrapbooking sheet. It's the right length here, and I've just folded it over for now because I'm going to ink the edges up of this all the way around. So we go ahead and do that. Show you why, because sometimes a little bit of white might show, so it's always best to get rid of that. I'm not going to worry about Tyvek because I'm going to put some muslin or something on the spine. But if you're not going to do that, then you need to Tyvek it. Okay, and I'm just going to go round. If you want to seal the envelope back down, you can do that as well. I'm not going to do that. So I'll show you why in a minute. You won't notice anyway because it's all covered up. Okay, that's that done. I'll just show you what I'm going to do with this before. Right, so I've already pre-folded it. Let's have a look here. So that is going to go like that. Right, if we want to pocket like that on the back, we can, or that slips in. Okay, what I do, do that. I'll just actually, what I'm going to do, let's put this on first. Sorry, folks. Right, forget I've done that. So you fold it good side in. All right, don't worry about this, pretend that's not there, okay? So I've already folded it. Then that's going to sit in there, yeah, like that, okay? And then sort of centralise it a little bit, like that, okay? And that's going to go over there, like that. And that one's there. Just make sure that's all right, butt up. Like that. Okay, so that's the actual inside, yeah? If you're going to have a pocket here, then I'll leave the bigger gap here and no gap here. Okay, which I'll just show you what I mean. Right, because you can actually have a pocket that way. Okay, and then this can slip inside there. You see, hopefully you can see that. Okay. Right in. Okay, and then you glue that down there. Okay, and that gives you a really nice neat edge. Yeah, yeah. And then this side will be a pocket, or you slip this one into if you don't want a pocket. Hopefully you can see. You've got to do some gluing, but I'm just giving you the how I will do that. And Turn it in one more. And then if I'm not doing a pocket, I'll centralise that a little bit more like that. Okay, and then we actually have our cover. Okay, and to be honest, I'm going to glue it all down. Okay, and you can sew it, you can do anything, but this just works really well. Okay, and then I know I'm going to put some, oops, I think that looks quite nice. And I use that bit of wallpaper up. Okay, with different things underneath it. You know, it's too, this is light and that's light, but I'm going to have muslin on the spine there. And then time we put a load of pages in, just bung these in a minute. You know, that's going to come out and then that will become rounder there. Yeah. I think I'll go ahead and start gluing that down. Okay, and I think I'm going to have a pocket on this side and not on the other. I'll take that one off. And again, if you were going to not put muslin on the spine, you tie back here. Okay, actually I'm going to put a bit in there now, just in case I don't end up using it. Right, let's see if I can simplify this for you. I'm going to glue this one side down first. Okay, it's just a bit fiddly to get the, you know, the gluing done and then everything slipped in, but it does work, and it's quite nice because it gives you a lovely edge to your journal. But if you was having two pockets, it would be even easier. You just put this down first. So I'm going to glue that down first. You really don't need that. I'm just going to centralise it. Stick down that flap, okay, and then this one. Making sure that's well butt up on that edge. So that's your 12 by 12 paper sheet. That now looks like that. And that's the inside. Just going to start manoeuvring it a bit. We put Tyvek in there as well, so I'm going to get that fairly central. There. Okay, that's the inside. Alright. Right, so we get this piece now, okay, and we glue up where our lines are, which is there because I've changed it a bit. It was a little bit too wide when I done it, so that's okay. But if we just glue inside these lines, I'm going to sew mine, so I'm not too worried about too much glue. But if you're not, make sure it's well glued up. There, and then we centralise this, making sure if it's a pattern, I think it looks better that way. Okay, right, and when you do this, it is a little bit awkward, alright, but you have to just put that in there. It's a good thing about wallpaper, it's quite malleable. Should not hit that at all. in there like that. Okay, and what we do now is just slip some glue in there. And this one I'm going to have a pocket. Okay, but I'm just going to put a bit of glue in there just to stabilise everything near the edge. But you can, if you want, tuck that one in as well. Okay, which will go in that layer there. I'm not going to because I think that'll be a nice back pocket. Just make sure it's okay, and it comes about there. Yeah, I think that'll be nice. I'm going to do though is it's a little bit big. Okay, so let's take a bit of that off. And that will go there because the panel's going to be, it's about 1/2 inch there, and that's the spine, you see. And I'm thinking, oh, we need room here, yeah, to get something in the pocket. Okay, that's good. And because I'm doing the pocket, I'm going to stick this one down a little bit as well. Again, I'm sewing mine, so just to make sure there's no flaps. There we go. Just do a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to cut that bit off because that's a little bit too wide. Okay, all right, and I'm going to glue mine down there. And we've got a very neat insert, and all that's neat. Didn't, you know, seems like it's stuck down. It's not, this top layer is not stuck down at all. That way it gives a nice neat edge, yeah, all the way around. Okay, right. Okay, now what I do on here, because I'm going to stitch mine, and I do this with pencil, and I do it very lightly. So I measure in 1/2 inch. Oh, I can't really see that one. There, I'll measure in 1/2 inch there. Yeah, and there, just a little bit. So that's going to be my spine. And there. And then join the two lines together very gently, maybe a bit more. Can't see that at all. Yeah. And now. Okay, that gives me an inch spine. Yeah. Right, so I know now, I'll know my size of my pages. Yeah, which I don't want them any more than 5.5, so that's worked out really well. Yeah, 5.5 that side. Right, I'm going to stitch around mine. Okay, I'm going to stitch around, but like I said, you don't need to, but and then you can rub that out if you want to, long as you know that, you know, this is sort of gives you a little bit of sort of area for it to maneuver around. Okay, you don't have to go by that at all, but I find that once all the pages in, that fills out, so you don't want your pages any wider than 5.5. Right, so I'm going to stitch all the way around mine. Yeah, and I'm also going to stitch down those 2 lines there. All right. Okay, I don't know if you can see the stitching. There we go. Alright, and then we've got our soft cover journal, but it's quite sturdy. Yeah, wallpaper and scrapbooking paper and an envelope. Okay, when I do just the envelopes and then I decorate the envelopes, I use 2 envelopes, and then because you mat the inside as well, so that's 3 layers. So this is 3 layers because it's wallpaper, envelope and scrapbooking paper though. This, yeah. Okay, that's it. Now on with the pages. So that's the cover. This will definitely, you know, have something underneath it, something, knowing me, a bit shabby coming out, and most probably some jute or something on the spine once we've got the pages in and everything. Yeah, but that's it. And then our size of our pages now are going to be, I reckon, 5 1/4. Okay, I'll do the 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, because that's the size of my A4 piece of paper then. So that's why I've just folded those. These are A4. So that is going to be my tallest size of my paper, and then it's going to have to come in a bit here. All right, so I'm going to have to take some off of there, which I will get a base page, and then we go no bigger than that. Yeah, so let's do 2 there. All right, let's get a base page done, which is about there. Okay, so we now know we don't want anything bigger than our base page. Okay, so that will fit in here. Plenty of room, but you've got to remember that this comes out and becomes shorter. All right, and that lets us have a, you know, if we want a bit of lace or anything, that's fine. We're only doing 1 signature anyway, but believe you me, that becomes shorter. All right. I know, and sometimes you run out of space, but that's about right. Okay, so I'm going to cut all my pages now down to the size I need, and that and smaller. Okay, I don't mind tiering the pages so that they're all, you know, different heights and things like that. So I'll go ahead and get all my width done that I want. Well, actually I can show you a bit, so let's have a look. Have we got any plain ones here? There we go. Over the top. Okay. It does quite a few. It does about 3, this one. The other one does about 8, I think. And then I've got a big machine that does 500. But it's right over in the corner, so yeah, cut them off. Okay, so I know those are right, so I'll put them away, right, and then when I get the other ones out, like that. use the first one as my guide. And we'll sort out these later. In the pile though. Okay, and I'll just continue to do that with all the big ones. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna, I don't like that bottom bit, so I should have looked at that. I'm gonna come down to there, and this one's gonna be a bit shorter. That's all right. Quite like that bit of paper though. Okay. Right. So go ahead and get all your width done and your height. Okay, and then I'll be back. Right, so they're all the same. Okay, same height. There's all different widths and everything, you know, amongst that. Okay, but they're all basically the same. When they're put together, of course, you have to trim the inside pages. All right, but at the moment, it's there. All right, I'm not sure whether I'll use all those actually. That's quite a few. Okay, another thing I do with all the bits I've got left over, all those, I'll make some backgrounds out of it. So I get my Amazon packaging, all right, and I will stick them down. I get 2 layers. There's any thin paper, you can use any paper, just have a couple of layers. This time you put that on as well, it becomes quite thick. And with the glue, I use my watered down glue for this. I think I had some more. Oh, I'll do for now anyway. What I'm going to do is just put some on the inside so we can stick that down a bit. Don't worry about that, it's covered up. And I'll do it that side where the rip is. Okay. Right, and I just start laying down. I'm going to do mine that way, I think. Yeah, watered down glue is two parts water, 1 part glue, because it's Mod Podge, and Mod Podge is quite thick, so. But if you've got thin glue, it's less water. And I'll offset them. Or stagger them, I should say. Haven't got any wide bits, so I have to have 2 thin bits in there. That should work. And see what happens, what we make out of it. I do this with strips of scrapbooking paper too. Not worried too much about the edges because trim all that off. There we go. Okay, there's a good base there. It'll look lovely with napkins over and things like that. Looks great. Right. Okay, what I do now, I tend to just sort of gently go over it, make sure all the air bubbles are out, but just gently now because it's starting to dry. And then just leave it alone. And we'll come back to that at a later date. Oh, don't think there's any glue on that bit. There is now. There we go. Right, leave that alone and we'll get back to the journal. Right, okay. This is going to be quite a long series, I think. As like I said, I'm doing this as not back to basics, junk in the trunk, okay, because it's literally, you know, bits of rubbish that we're using. So I'll call this one the first part, I think. Call that a day. It must be over an hour now, and then I'll come back tomorrow hopefully and film some more, okay, and we shall go from there. And that'll be a long one to start the new year with, and have a lot of fun with, like I say, tone on tone, and let's have fun, I say. Yeah, so here's my pile all dry. Look at it all. And that was just in my trunk, you know, that I've been collecting, all my envelopes, bits of rubbish paper, but we shall make things with it, won't we? Yeah, and just think, well, we've got a recycle plant here, so it doesn't go in the landfill, so I don't actually feel bad if I do throw things away, because I put it in the recycle bin and it gets recycled. I have also put together, I haven't done the TN yet, but I've sort of, that was that, I showed you right in the beginning, and I've made that into a cover. That was the little piece. I've still got one big piece of that, and then that was a bag, which I'm going to cut all that off. I just sort of sized it all up. So I've got another little journal here, you know, all plain. Yeah. So it'd be fun to decorate and make something of it with plain pages. Okay. I mean, I do all my lovely digitals, I know I do, but I also enjoy making something from nothing. So, you know, my digitals are my livelihood, but this is my playtime, making something from nothing. So I'm with you on that one as well. Okay. Well, thanks very much for watching then, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye-bye.